Hey, yo, it's Yogi
Woo!
Chander. What's up,
And
Naviae?
happy Allora. Hey,
You know what?
happy.
I think it's the last chance moon today,
I'm
or the
feeling
show.
I'm feeling like it's our last chance moon. I think so. One
W-
one last chance.
One last chance. Well, I'm so glad that we're doing this, and thank you for being here today. And if anybody else is out there today, welcome, and thank you for being here too.
Welcome. Hey,
Uh,
Yogi, it's good to be here with you. And
you too.
I wanted to have a little follow through with the Oh, can you hear that beeping?
Yeah, what is that?
It's my phone. Darn.
Ah,
I was supposed to do a do not disturb, but I forgot. So hang on.
no worries.
It's just like it's musical jingles. It's little sparkles from the universe.
We can
Um,
make it like a game of some kind.
yep. And so I'll tell you who's dinging me, who's chiming me is my friend Raven, and he's the person that was my last guest on a Wandering Witch podcast. So I just published it last night. I'm a little bit blurry eyed because I was up late editing. We've had some crazy Hawaiian weather the past couple of days,
Oh
and
yeah,
I haven't been able to make any of the voiceovers, clips because
because
it's
it's been
just
too much in rain, or
too much rain.
yeah,
Everything gets drowned out by the sound because our house has a screen around it, so you can't batten the hatches down completely.
yeah. I was
But
thinking
yeah,
that for you.
but I finally got it published last night. So everyone go listen on Spotify, A Wandering
Yes.
Witch podcast. It's episode 4 of season 2. And this is the third installment of Music in the Occult series with Uncle Raven Terrapin. So it's like pagan story time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I guess I erased the banner that has your link, so I'm going to have to link it up so
Okay.
that everybody can see.
It's a brand new one just published last night, and Raven did a really great job of researching his topic. And he has ancestry from the Wales area of UK and Scotland. So he has like that sort of Welsh bard vibe, and he's super connected to his ancestry. We talk a little bit about it was either in the behind the scenes, I can't remember now. It might be in the public show, but he talked a bit about how he visited the Isle of Skye, his ancestral castle, and yeah. And I had been to
That's
the Isle
cool.
when I was in Scotland a few years ago, so we have that. And I also experienced a lot of magic, so we had that bleed over. Yeah, he's a dear brother. You would love him.
Sounds like it. Totally so. Um, and the castle is like really intriguing to me right now because I've been thinking so much about buildings and stuff, and I'd love to hear about his, that experience. I guess I will soon when I listen to the podcast. I'm
Yeah.
putting that up here now. Let's see if it goes. Is it up? Oh, there we go. Everybody go check out the Wandering Witch podcast.
A wandering witch. I'm going to be on Lighting the Void soon too. Darn, I don't have the
Mm.
date in front of me.
Wow,
Um,
super cool. You're making stuff happen. I love it.
yeah, for folks that follow me on Instagram at it's a double underscore wandering double underscore witch. And also I have a podcast one now that's just a underscore wandering underscore witch podcast or something like that. Um,
Is it is your link tree, if they go there, would they find the
yeah,
podcast easy?
Linktree is probably the best thing. I love that thing. It's lanktr.ee backslash a wandering witch, and there it has all the portals, all the all the links to everything.
Is it linktree.com backslash or
It's lanktr.ee
oh yeah.
backslash a wandering witch.
All right.
I joke I joke and say it's one link to rule them all, but really it is.
I know that thing's awesome. I will participate in that one of these days.
It's a great service.
Let's see here. Let's see if I got this right. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That's right.
You have so many outlets. It's like so important to, condense it a little bit, funnel it somewhere.
Yeah. And I love my website, but I don't really have a lot of access to upgrading it with my tech. So it's kind of like it is what it is. And I use the link tree to kind of work around where I'm not able to update my WordPress website right now. Yeah, so
Hi,
the
Keats. Keats is
the
out there.
hey Keats, yay,
He says
brother.
Linktree rules.
Yes. Wish I could see the chat. Oh wait, maybe I can. No, I'm gonna screw it all up.
I'm not sure how to do that as the
I'm
guest in
not kidding.
StreamYard.
It's okay. You can give me the finer highlights, Yogi.
I'll try to do that. Yeah, the play-by-play.
Yeah. But yeah, for the folks that follow me on Instagram, I'll be posting about the Light in the Void show. It's coming up. I think it's the 18th, but I could be wrong. Yeah.
Very cool.
Love
Well,
those guys.
definitely want to tune into that one.
And Pacho. I heard your Joe Roop show. It was really good.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
I always enjoy listening to the show. This whole month has been a mishmash of things. I've not been as involved with my shows or social contact or anything this whole month due to some personal issues. But so I've missed out on like all this month's Lighting the Voids. I have no idea what's happening there.
Well, it's nice that they're archived, so you can catch them on the flip side.
Yes, I do. Definitely.
Yeah, I actually was able to catch a bit of the obelisk last night with our friends Jerry and Nish. And there's this woman, Allison J.K., that I know from when I lived and worked in the Tampa Bay area. We had done some work together, and she was a guest on their show. It was like total synchro overlap, and she even was like, "Oh yeah, Naviae." So
super cool. Were you in the chats and got to say hello?
I was before the show started, and then I had a client right at 4, so I like got the notice on my YouTube and just said hi and like Allison, love you, kind of thing, and then was like, if I'm done before you guys are over, I'll stop back in, and I caught like the last half hour. It was really good.
Yeah, I have to catch up on the show too. I missed it entirely last night, but I saw it was an interesting guest, and that's cool that you have a tie.
Yeah.
Hey, Spooky.
A really good one. Hi, Spooky.
It's so funny, Spooky. You were on my mind this morning when I was making my coffee first thing in the morning. I'm glad you're here. I haven't seen you in a while.
Yay, Spooky. That's awesome.
So, what are you?
We all had a 3-way with Spooky that one, or a 4-way with Spooky that one time. It was really fun.
Nice. Yeah, that's right. That's it's always cool to have. I like the multiple personalities shows.
Yeah. Did you do your coffee chat the other day on Sunday?
I did not. It was a beautiful day here in Colorado, and I was out actually picking up a bicycle trailer. It's the first time I've picked up a bicycle trailer in my life, so it's like it's like for kids, but I'm going to haul my cat around in it and other things too. It's a little 2-wheel burly. It's a really sweet trailer. I mean, it's hot, so it was good to get it.
Yeah.
But I had to ride all the way into Boulder and back, and
oof.
It's not that bad, but it was.
I don't really know. I'm just like, oh, it sounds far. I don't even know where you are or where Boulder is in comparison, or I'm just
No real perspective there. It's not that far, really. It's always nice to get out and bike ride. I love it.
Yeah, especially when it's nice weather. We've been having a ton of rain here. Roads are flooding, and it's finally not. I was hoping that we'd have a lull so we could do the show, because you can't hear anything. It's just beating drum of rain. But hey,
obviously it's not happening now. So.
No, it's like actually kind of a gray blue sky with promise of maybe sun later. It's a break.
Excellent.
Yeah. Hey, can I read to you the Mayan astrology for today?
That would be most excellent. Please do.
Yeah. So it's a blue solar hand. That's why we're having good weather, because it's a solar day.
Oh,
So we're in day 9 of the Blue Storm Wave spell. For those of you keepers of time paying attention, it's kin number 87, and the affirmation is: I pulse in order to know, realizing healing. I seal the store of accomplishment with the solar tone of intention. I am guided by the power of abundance. So Blue Knight is the guide. The power of abundance is the um, power of the Blue Knight or the Akbal tribe, which is
mm.
like you have to sail into the darkness to like get your treasure. Is kind of how I read that glyph. Um,
Oh, I can identify with that.
yeah, so it's a powerful day today. It's not a I don't think it's a portal. No, not a portal day, but it's okay. I've had enough of the portal days right now. We're about to go into a 10-day stretch of portals
Oh, what? Tell us more.
next. I think it's next week, which is the Serpent Wave spell, which I'm in there. So it's I think it's tone 3 to tone 11 or 12 is just portal day after portal day. I call it the erector spinae because you're a body worker, right? So you know there's a spinal column, and then there's a like two, like a muscle group that flanks the spine, and it's called the erector spinae, and it helps you like stand upright. These two wave spells that flank the Kuksum Suum, or the center of the Zulkin calendar, I call that the erector spinae in my own mind because it feels like they hold up the whole integrity of the structure. And
Oh,
it's the serpent and the seed on either side. That's a good book, The Serpent and the Seed by Naviae Allora. Let's call it in.
yes. There you go.
I need
Love
to
it.
do a Mayan astrology book or class or something. People are like, how do I learn? I have my Patreon. Tier 3 has like the wave spell updates every month as a Patreon bonus, but I feel like it's not enough. People are like, how do I, they get a reading with me, or they're like hearing me in little snips on different shows, and they're like, I want to know more because it's magic, but it's
For sure.
complex. It's like I went and lived with my teacher to learn it. I don't really have any good books to refer people to.
Well,
So I know.
I would hope you're invited to bring it up, on our show as much as often as you want to. It'd be cool if you did a regular segment because I'm very interested in it too. Um, and there's something about I really love the way that to see how different systems kind of portray their ideas and things, and that's one thing we'll be talking about a little bit later today. But what I really like about that is like the color representations. It's just so um, it's beyond words.
Yeah. I had a session with a new client the other day, and I was decoding their Mayan and um, giving them their chart, and they were a blue something. And I was telling them that like some of the old books, like from the 70s, I was able to find about like the archaeology side of the Mayan stuff. They alluded to um, those tribes being black, not blue.
Ah.
Yeah. Hey, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle Embry. Yeah, what's up?
So I wonder if the modern day take on the Mayan astrology didn't try and like make it less race sounding, like, because otherwise it would be red, white, black, yellow, and then you could go, huh? Is it directional? Is it racial? There's a little
Right.
bit more of like I don't even think about race when I hear red, white, blue, yellow. You know.
I I,
Um,
I I know what you mean though. I mean, it's a clear tie. So what do you think
it.
about that?
I mean, we could do a whole show on it because it really changes the energy.
Mm.
It really does. Not in a racial sense at all. Just I think that might have been a reason why they shifted it, but this is just purely speculation on my part.
Mm.
But from an energetic standpoint, like blue is way different than black.
Mm.
You know, the
Hmm.
energy of blue and black. I mean, you can see how they can meet up in this like midnight blue sky kind of vibe, but
That's
like
fascinating. Yes.
the colors that you see in the modern day Mayan are like royal blue. It's not dark blue or midnight blue. I don't know.
Ah.
But yeah. So anyway, that's kind of fun.
Well, I've been really. I love blue. It's one of my. It might be my favorite color. I think teal is probably my favorite color, actually. But I love blues of all sorts, and so I just glanced down at my watch when you said that because it's just this. It's the cheapest watch I've ever owned. It's just a fashion watch, but it's blue and it's really cool. It's like just a kind of a royalish blue. And so that's just been on my mind. Just
is it a swatch?
I love Swatch. I used to have a huge collection back in the day. I mean, a huge, ridiculous collection. They'd be worth something now. No, it's a no name. It's like Exempla Healthcare gift watch. I got it at the thrift store. But I am a watch guy, and I have a really sad story about my family watch that I'll tell you sometime. But I finally am getting 2 real watches. They should be actually here today, and I'll show this on the show sometime. I'm really proud. They're just low end watches.
I was flashing back to Pulp Fiction. I was like,
I haven't seen that movie. What's the reference on that part?
Does anyone out there get it? I think it's Pulp Fiction. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. It might be a story for a different time.
Okay, fair enough. I'm sure everybody else out there does get it. Everybody's seen that movie. I've seen the highlights, but not that, I don't think.
Hey. I'm in my squeaky chair. Oh, hey. So for also continuity, we were thinking about doing a bibliomancy each show too, not just covering the Mayan, but like every previous oracle we were going to maybe just touch on.
Can I touch base on? Yeah.
I have a book here. You want to do a quick biblio?
I have so many books. Yes, and that's great. I'm glad that you have one handy. I want to ask you something before I forget, because we always talk about relevant things, and this is a tangent. What kind of microphone do you actually use?
Right now, just my phone.
Just the phone. You sound great.
Yay! Awesome.
Cool. Okay, cool.
It's magic.
That's really what powers it.
It's magic. Isn't that a meme?
Is it? Yeah, it's Doug Henning. Doug Henning was a magician back in the 70s, and a guy I can't remember who did the parody of him on Saturday Night Live. Who was that?
I don't know, but it's good.
Dana Carvey? I don't know.
I know some awesome. Pass it on. But watches. Yeah, Keats. Yeah.
I guess I haven't seen that. Cheek strappingly accurate timekeeping. That's funny.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, hey, I got my book.
Yes.
Tell me when to stop scrolling.
Literally.
I'm gonna thumb through.
Stop.
Yogi. Oh. Okay, so I'm gonna thumb my finger around it, or finger my finger around it. Scroll. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay. It says her legs shake as she climbs off too, and she stumbles, coming down hard on the crossbeam of her boy's bike. Wallace swallows a cry of pain. Wow.
Ouch.
I know. To her surprise, Jasper comes around to help her, leaning her bike against his. They are salted with They are salted with gravel dust. I read graveyard dust.
Graveyard dust. Ooh. That's
like a little bit in the voodoo vibe this morning. They are salted gravel dust, grimed at the neck, red-faced. He didn't seem to be winded, but she can see now that he trembles like her. They leave the bikes and walk through the sedges of the swamp's rim, where the sinking sun turns a line on dozing slider turtles.
Whoa, that's enough.
Into an amber necklace. There are snappers in these swamps, tank-like, swimming just under the surface. Sometimes she sees their wake.
Wow. No, what is the I already forgot the word now. The sash of the swamp.
Sedges?
Yeah, sedges of the swamp. What's that?
Yeah. What's a sedge?
Yeah.
So when I was in herbal medicine school, it was a little rhyme they used to say. We did a lot of like going out into the natural world and different environments and checking out the plant life there. So
Sweet.
we'd go to like, swampy areas or ponds and different things. So you'd see sedges, they're water loving. So you would see them around like water or wet earth.
Oh, it's a
So
plant.
yeah. So they would say, sedges have edges and rushes are round, and grasses, like asses, have holes to the ground. Isn't that great?
I love things like that. That sticks in my head. That's great.
Never forgot it. Sedges have edges, so they're like square. Sedges have edges and rushes are round, and grasses like asses have holes to the ground. I'd be a good nursery rhyme, like nursery school teacher. That'd be so fun.
Maybe a kid's book on herbology.
Oh, so many ideas. I have like 2 or 3 I'm working on here and there whenever I get free time. I've just been in this like cleaning vibe. Like every spare chance I get that I'm not doing readings or a show, I'm trying to like feng shui and sort and clean, deep clean.
Do you really like just now or always?
It seems to be the past 3 or 4 years has been, at least 2 or 3 years, has been right after I pack up my Yule decorations, like early January. I start to this like sort, clean. I want everything that I own to be, I want to touch it, clean it, wipe it, floors, ceiling, like everything wants to be deep cleaned. And then it usually culminates around the equinox. So I better get moving. I only have a little bit left of the house to do all that too. But it feels good to like address all of your items.
Yes. I love that. I do that kind of a lot in my life, but I've really been doing it a lot lately. I mean, my whole place is completely transformed, and I've really gotten rid of a lot and some major things, and it really changes the feel of the place. And so I've really been spending a lot of time just tweaking in the feel of, my spaces.
Yeah. And it's like you get reacquainted with everything. And sometimes I'm a little bit of an absent-minded professor kind of vibe. I'm a Gemini sun, and I kind of get like so in my mind that I, in like different creative things that I forget I even have stuff, or I'm looking for something and I'm like, oh, it's in this bag in the box in the backs that I forgot. Oh,
you and me. Yep.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Keats' new record, Bardo's. I forgot the name of it. Yeah, it was out of context, spooky. I've listened. It's really good.
I haven't heard it yet. But I knew exactly what you were talking about. That's awesome. It just came out a couple weeks ago, I think. Week and a half ago? 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, really fairly recently. And go to his social media and you can find Prag Magic. You'll find his links to it. It's really like just I don't know, like he has such a sound, like if you played it and you were all familiar with Keats, you'd be like, oh, it sounds like Keats. It's like a little bit like haunted, a little bit like witchy, and I don't know, there's like a really nice layering of different like vibe on it. It's good, and the vocals sound great. I think him and Mary did a few. Yeah, it's really good.
That's so cool. That's exactly the vibe I'd expect, and I love what I've heard, and so I'm dying to hear that album actually.
Yeah.
What does Bardos mean?
Bardo is like the in-between like corridor of like the place where either you kind of wait to go to the next life, or kind of like the corridor to the other world is kind of how I think of it.
Aha. Very cool. Nice.
Yeah. Hey, so what do you think about introducing our topic today?
That sounds good. We were talking about different ways that systems represent their things, and so like there's so many different oracles, right? I mean, there's more than we could even talk about. But when it comes to decks, there are many kinds of Oracle decks, aren't there?
Yeah.
So you probably, I bet you have like a house full of them.
Probably not as many as you'd think.
I've known people who have had a lot of decks, and when you have more than one deck, do you find it hard to choose, or are you just kind of moved to pick one?
I'm sort of like a monogamous deck person.
Gotcha.
I've been reading, so I'm a much more of a tarot person. That was like my first love when I was 18. So we're still in love and we're happy together. So
Rivers.
Hey Rivers. Love Rivers.
You're still in love.
So I'm still in love with my tarot deck, with tarot, and the deck I've been using since 2011.
So you're talking classic tarot.
It is straight up tarot. So the difference between tarot and then oracle cards is tarot is a system of 78 cards, and there's like symbolism throughout that deck. And if it's not 78 cards with this like basic symbolism, or I mean, there's a lot of room for creative license within it, but it's like there's the major arcana and then there's 4 suits and there's 78 cards. Like that's kind of like, at the very least, to call it a tarot deck, it has to be that. And the more traditional like Rider-Waite, Coleman Smith decks, which I kind of prefer. I love the artistic ones, and we're going to do a show just on tarot, but not now.
Nice.
So just to compare and contrast tarot versus other decks, it's like tarot is 78 cards with the major arcana and the 4 suits of the minor arcana and scene. And then everything else can be considered oracle decks, in my opinion. And oracle decks
down with that, yeah. Whatever
you want it to be. Are they on crystals? Are they on herbs? Are they on, just unicorns? I mean, people have, it's really, it could be 10 cards, it could be 100 cards, it could be all images, it could have words on it.
Well, what about like, is it cardomancy, where people use like, classic 52 card deck to read the actual tarot? I'm not really familiar with it, but that's my understanding. Yeah. So is that considered tarot or not to you?
No, because the major arcana is not present.
Got ya. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's clarified.
And when we'll get there with the tarot, I'd like to bring just using the playing cards into the tarot, maybe, or do a separate show just on.
I love cards.
Playing cards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's a whole other magic carpet ride.
But, yes, it is.
Yeah. It's super fun.
Do you have a collection of cards by chance, like playing cards, or do you have any?
I have a deck that I just do cards with, or like cartomancy with. I have this Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck, which is kind of fun.
Cool, that sounds awesome. Is that one you're going to share with us today?
I wasn't going to. I was going to save it for another show, but I can just show you.
Okay, cool.
The Gypsy Witch.
I just love it already.
And I love the backs of the deck. Is kind of fun. But
sweet. I like that style.
Yeah, and these are playing cards with
those are unique.
With the divination meanings on the deck.
Really?
Yeah. So
What's
it's a little bit different.
What is that called as an oracle deck? That specific one.
This is called Gypsy Witch fortune telling cards.
Oh, that is the playing cards with the meaning. Is a Gypsy Witch.
Yeah, this specific deck. Yeah. But yeah.
That's fascinating.
And we could do a whole show just on this, and this is a whole other thing.
Sure,
but to focus on the oracle cards, I have some just like straight up oracle cards. Like this is kind of like a bleed
Nice.
over. It's not really, I wouldn't really consider it. I brought it out, but
that's cool. I love little unique things like that. I don't have a collection of oracle cards. My first set was a deck of medicine cards, and we've talked about those and those I loved those, but none since until recently. And I had a deck of angel cards which have come to me, so that's the only one that I really have to show today. But I'm looking into some digital apps, and I wanted to ask the people out there about their opinions on that and stuff. So, but
digital apps for oracles.
Yeah.
Ah.
And tarot cards too, but oracles other than tarot, we're talking about today. So there's all kinds of different things available. And I wonder about digital magic and what you guys feel about that kind of thing. I love both. I mean, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment. I'm going to let other people comment.
Yeah, cool. Spooky says, I wish I had cards. I know. I don't even have a deck of 52 cards right now. But I guess I need to have.
It makes it a little distracting because I love to play just games, card games, like
Sure.
315 to Yuma and Gin Rummy and all that. I grew up playing cards with my family and things. So
I love that.
My partner and I play cards a lot, and we play virtual games with folks. And
I was just going to say we should totally play some cards online sometime. I would love that.
We can, yeah, absolutely. But I'll look and I'll get a card and I'll think, ooh, three of swords, huh? Or like, and they're like 3 of spades. I'm like, oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, 10 of cups, I'll take that. And they're like, what? I'm like, oh, 10 of hearts. Yeah, it's a good card. And they're like, it's a horrible card. I'm like, I love it. I'm looking at it in a different esoteric, definition than you are. So it's
absolutely.
I'm playing a different game than most people as usual. But
that's so funny. I can identify with that too. It's like when you're playing Yahtzee, if you've played a lot of like role-playing games, D&D or something like that, you kind of think about how many stats that's adding to your attack roll and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I have one oracle deck I wanted to show that has a kind of magical background to it. Do you want to hear?
Oh yeah.
So this was one of the first oracle decks I ever really I was a little bit rigid in my stance that I'm a tarot person and I don't really care about oracle cards. They didn't speak to me. The one exception is the fairy deck, which I'll get to. And that's like in a class all its own kind of for me. But the more like general type of oracle cards I was not really interested in. And I was working at this wood shop in Florida, and one of the other readers was like on her hands and knees by this bookshelf. And I was like, what are you doing? And she's like, there's something in the wall. And I said, what do you mean? She goes, don't you hear it? And I'm like, no. And she's like, there's something in the wall. And honestly, it felt like Saint Bernadette digging in the mud at Lourdes, saying, I know there's a spring here. That's
awesome.
So the owner of the store actually took the bookcase off and found behind this like fake wall 3 of these oracle decks that had somehow, we don't even know how they could have gotten back there, but they were there. So I bought one, and 2 other readers bought them.
You
We're
had
like,
to.
okay.
Yeah.
It's called The Wisdom of the Hidden Realms, which is hilarious for me. But I can't say for sure that the oracle deck is any more magical than any other oracle I've ever had. Yeah, let's try. Let's see. Does anyone out there want an oracle card pulled for them from this Earth Magic Wisdom of the Hidden Realms? Would you like one, Yogi Chander?
Yeah, I'm sure the chat is probably gonna respond any moment. Oh yeah, Michelle would like one, but I would like one as well. Me stop.
The Sun Dancers. Joyful activity, celebration of life and abundance.
I love it.
And I think that's kind of why some folks, maybe newer readers, folks who are kind of like tapping into their intuition as a new pursuit, I think oracle cards are good because it's like the definitions right on the card. It's real visual. It's not this whole like daunting system to learn with tarot, which I don't know. It didn't feel daunting, but some folks that I've taught tarot to are like, oh, it's a lot, you know. This is a good way to kind of break the intuition ice, I think. You know, it's you can pick a topic of oracle that's appealing. Like I know there's crystal oracles that one of my colleagues used to have at the store where I worked, and they loved
That's a
it.
great idea.
You know what I mean?
So many people
like,
can identify with crystals.
Yeah, there's crystals, there's herb ones, there's ascended masters, there's goddesses. I mean, there's really any oracle.
All kinds. I mean, and I love just, again, I'm so fascinated by that, by the different paradigms they use. And I always thought like a Chinese medicine style one would be very interesting too. I don't know if that's been done yet, but
I don't know. Michelle, I picked one for you, and I got the Eagle King, the big picture, angelic help, number 12.
Wow.
Yeah, love him.
That's an awesome card. I like it.
Yeah. Wow. So that's this one. It's by Colette Baron Reed. It came from the wall.
It came from the wall. That's the best kind. Is it okay to show a couple of the other cards, or is that not a good thing to do?
No, yeah, totally can.
Love to see them. Keith says, "What does the Eagle King represent?"
Oh, I just read it.
Yeah. Could you read it again, or?
I will look. Oh, here it is. It says the big picture, angelic help. Yeah, I don't have much more to offer other than that. I mean, I could read from. They don't really speak to me. If it was tarot, I'd be able to like, chom 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 chom. Let's see what the book says. It's like a help yourself buffet. I'm like, here's the card. Okay, I'll read it. I'll read the little deck. I'll read the little.
As you do, Michelle's like, yeah. You see, you get this intuitive meaning. You do get what you need when you get this kind of a draw, especially from someone like you when it's so intuitive naturally. But anyway, yeah, please do read.
Yeah, and I'll read yours too. It says, the Eagle King, the big picture, angelic help. When it's an ally, it says the Eagle King is a sign that your highest destiny is within reach. You're on the right path now, even if you can't see where you're going. The Eagle King soars high above the mountains and valleys of life and is able to see the big picture when you seem to be lost in a bit of fog. He makes a formidable ally as he takes your prayers up toward the sun and releases them to the divine. They will be answered for the highest good of all. It's a fortunate omen when the Eagle King decides to be your ally. So it was upright, Michelle. So I'm going to go with it. It's coming in as an ally. That's how I would read it. If it was upside down, it would be as a challenger. The Eagle King challenges you to see a higher purpose to events. Not everything is meant to come to pass according to your specifications. If you can't see the forest for the trees, stand back for a while and let the Eagle King fly high on your behalf. Wow, that's cool. Perhaps It's time to speak to someone who has objectivity and an ability to see the bigger picture where you don't. Just remember that even that even when things don't go the way you expect, there's always a reason for the detour. Love that.
Nice. Keats like the short and sweet version too.
Yeah, but I'm happy to read into it more. It's so funny. I'm so like on or off with divination. Like either it speaks to me and I'm all like, you know, or I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't fake it. You always know what you're getting with me. I'm always going to be authentic because if I don't feel it, I don't feel it, and I don't even try to pretend. So I guess it's keeping it real.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I just can't. People are just like they can tell too. They're like, "Wow, that's amazing." You're just like 200% when you're into something, and when you're not, it's like
Nope,
not at all.
not at all. Okay.
Michelle says angels are into what she's about to attempt. Angels and fairies are super into it. I don't know if you heard, but my deck is an angel deck, Michelle. So that's pretty fascinating. We'll pull on those in a bit.
Wow.
Okay. They match the background of your video too. Look at that. Kind of.
Yeah, it's my Diva Pink wall.
Sweet.
I got a lot of stink for that at Home Depot when I was buying that paint. I will tell you.
Oh, really?
I did. The woman in line, she was like, "Oh, who's a little girl you're buying that paint for?" And I was like, "Me." She's like, "You're painting what with that?" And I'm like, "My living room." She was like, "You're brave." And I'm like, "I didn't come to Hawaii to paint everything beige, lady.
No doubt.
I'm not afraid to get a little colorful."
Hell yeah. I'm
Stink eye in me.
I'm going with like a pretty much white theme in my room, and then I'm gonna add flat splashes of color, at least at my workstation.
There's nothing wrong with beige, but don't hate on me for being colorful.
Right?
Okay.
You gotta have color.
Right? So the Sun Dancer, number 32, Yogi. Joyful activity, celebration of life and abundance. As an ally, it says, as your ally, the Sun Dancers celebrate you now and remind you of the laws of success and praise. Anything you place your attention on will manifest an experience, so the laws are always perfect. Expect the best and praise it in advance. This unleashes the magic of mystical magnetic energy, drawing circumstances to you to create the reality you envision.
Oh, I love it.
Give thanks in advance for the grace and goodwill of the divine. Be willing to dance the victor dance as if your greatest dreams are realized, and watch how easily things begin to fall into place. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum. Stay positive and leave the timing up to the divine. All things are possible now. Dance the joy of being and celebrate your life and abundance today.
Word. I love it.
Yeah.
Mystical magnetic is a sweet phrase. I like that very much.
Yeah. Ooh. The other card I'm going to show is the Hungry Ghosts, which is one of my favorite cards. Not to get, but just the visual of it.
Wow.
The Hungry Ghosts. Obsessions, scarcity consciousness, and attachment.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And I love this one. Okay.
That goes right in hand with what you were just talking about too, is the antithesis of that almost. What were you gonna say?
And this one, the rusting tree. Isn't that cool?
That's
I love
really
it. I used to have really bad insomnia, and I went to a festival and camped out in the fairy woods and did a little shamanic journey by myself in the woods.
Sweet. Yes.
And I timed it so that when the sun was rising, I was kind of in like a good spot, conscious wise.
Mm-hmm.
Conscious wise. And it was like this still moment, like no one was awake yet, and it was still like twilight. And anyway, but there was these big gorgeous oak trees around me, and I was like, I need to find healing around like getting peaceful enough to sleep. Like I couldn't relax into my slumber, and I would only fall asleep when I was like exhausted, and I was like praying on that. And the tree, the oak tree, talked to me, and it said, "Come to my roots, snuggle up in my roots." So that's what I did for years. I still do that if I can't sleep or if I'm troubled. Whew, sorry. I imagine myself like crawling into the roots of the oak trees there and feeling like, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the resting tree is the, when I saw this card, I thought, oh, that's the oak talking to me, telling me to come and snuggle in its roots.
That's so cool. What an awesome story.
Yeah.
Keith says the hungry ghost is a bardo.
Sync.
Sync. That's all about sync. It's gonna keep happening.
Synchro. Yeah. Do you want to share your oracle cards?
Yeah, definitely. Let's see here. So I've probably mentioned these a couple of times here on the show. Basically, they just came to me. I was looking for an oracle or a tarot deck, just kind of reaching out for one energetically, and one came to me, and it was this. And so there we go. I don't have a special affinity for angels or anything, but I'm open to, all kinds of things. I'm the trickster-ish kind of guy, so I think messages can come in all forms. So especially pretty pink ones, right?
Aw. It's so funny. I don't really connect with angels either, but they will come into a reading if the client has an affinity with them. And I'm like, oh, Archangel Michael's here. Okay, it's for you. He says, da, da, da. It's like they'll talk to me, but they don't show up in my life that I know of.
Well, that's funny because I don't know, perhaps the cards aren't necessarily about me, maybe they're here so that I can give someone else a message they need to hear, and the angels would be how they hear it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Speculating. In fact, does anybody out there want one, and would you like one?
I would love one. I'm so curious to see what angel wants to come through.
All right, let's see here.
So it's all different angels. That's
it
what the deck.
is.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm gonna ask a question in my mind. Ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Is out there? Oh,
Yeah.
They're out there? It is Archangel Ariel. Connect with nature. I don't feel like is that, can you see that okay?
Yeah. It's
so
weird.
I don't know anything about Archangel Ariel. I can look it up if you'd like to hear about it.
Yeah, I would, but it's weird because I did the IG live with Inner Sky Alchemy on the actual sky astrology, visible sky with the Mayan, because we're having the sun in the actual sky is moving into Pisces. So we did a live stream a couple of days ago. And cool. Pisces is like the Little Mermaid, right? That water depths. Anyway, there was like this Little Mermaid song that I put to my IG reel to promote it. And it was like, I want to be where the people are, whatever. And I just like to add music to the reels. It's so fun for me, in the podcast too,
Love
adding
that.
little pops of music is so fun.
Yeah, and you're awesome with that.
Yeah, it's so much fun for me. And so I added the Little Mermaid song to that reel to promote we were going live. And Janine, the friend that I'm doing the lives with, she was like, I'm having so many Little Mermaid synchros right now. I can't even help it. I'm like, whoa. So anyway, this is another one.
That's awesome.
Archangel Ariel. Which is the name of the Little Mermaid in the movie, at least.
Little Mermaid. That's right.
Tale. Yeah.
So it is. That's that little dip of connection, the fishtail, if you will, of connection. That's awesome. I love that. There's always a synchronistic thing there. I need my glasses. And Keats wants a card. I'll get to you, Keats, for sure. Thank you.
I want to be where the people are.
I want to be where the sunshine ain't in my eyes. Let's see. You are one with all of life. Get outside and connect with the natural world around you and start tuning into the beauty and oneness which is all around you. By simply being present in and surrounded by nature, you're able to effortlessly receive healing and rejuvenating benefits from the natural world. It's all around you, though. Within your every interaction with nature, you are blessed and uplifted. Spending time outside, connecting with nature will help to bring you a fresh perspective and align you with a new positive outlook towards your life. Nature holds magical healing power for your body, mind, and spirit. Nature has the power to ground and balance our energy and has much wisdom to share. Connect with the magical healing power of nature to transcend the experience of separation and to fully experience your oneness with all. Or just get outside to boost your mood, improve your health, and increase your connection with the angelic realm. Crystal for connecting with nature, red jasper. Didn't you just say something about jasper? Red jasper.
Wow. That was the name of the person in the bibliomancy we did.
That's right.
Yeah. And
That's
I've
awesome.
been all about crystals lately. They're calling to me from all the corners of the earth. It's amazing right now. I just got a crystal singing bowl made out of quartz, and it's the Zeal Point. I should have brought it. It's in my closet, packed in a box so the cats don't get to it. But I've been playing it for my Patreon for the Reiki boosts. It's just like, oh my God, all I need to do is just tap it. Oh, I put it a little snip on the podcast too. On the latest A Wandering Witch episode I have, you'll hear just a few seconds of it. But I just have to tap it, and it's like, wah, 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 wah. It just goes. It's so amazing. It's a hollow handle. So you can I did a massage the other day, and I was directing it at the client, at the massagino.
Like sonic healing. I love it.
Oh, because it can either be like at the big, mouth or the funnel out the other end. And I was like extracting stuff with the sound. It was like coming up the funnel and out the handle. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to when we have more freedom and not worried about risking your life if you interact with someone that's not in your pod or whatever is going on. So
right.
Post COVID massage energy healing at my house.
Oh yes, let's do it. Have you ever experienced the Kundalini gong, that giant gong?
I've been around a lot of gongs.
I don't know if
gongs. A specific one.
I have never experienced gong like Kundalini gong until I experienced Kundalini gong, but it's a giant gong, and they do the special thing where they kind of almost like a singing bowl. They kind of do some swirling kinds of stuff, and it sounds somewhere between the sounds of the ocean and the sounds of the cosmos. It's just, I mean, it takes you on a trip. And usually you do those after a whole hour of Kriya, of Kundalini exercise, and you're already in that zone. And then you just chill out, and then they do the gong. And that's my favorite part of life sometimes.
I love gongs. Oh my gosh. I have one from Vietnam that I got when we visited, and it was sold to me by the granddaughter of 100-year-old master gong maker. And he was like 3rd or 4th generation gong maker.
Wow, that's serious.
Vietnam. I know, you should hear it. I'll play it another time. It's so good. We should do a sound healing one.
Yes. Good idea.
Yeah.
Good idea. Let's do that.
We got crystals, we got sound healing, we got tarot, we got a lot on deck.
I know. No pun intended. Speaking of a lot on deck, Keats, would you like your card? He's having a day beer.
We might have a lag. He's having a day beer.
Gong life is what Spooky says. That's funny. Okay, he's ready. He says, do it. All right, Keats.
Yeah.
Naviae, do you want to call for Keats when I should?
Yeah. Stop.
Archangel Michael, raise your vibration. He had called Ariel, but you got Archangel Michael. So let's see. Raise your vibration.
I love Michael. He's one of the few archangels I actually really feel. Like my feet are buzzing right now.
Really?
Yeah. I do this trade with my longtime friend / client in Spain, and we do sometimes I just read for her, but sometimes we do a trade, and she's very gifted, and she does different kinds of energy healings, and sometimes we'll hit a block and she'll go, Archangel Michael, come. Archangel Michael, come. And I can feel this like pillar of energy come into the room because we're doing distant, right? I'm not in Spain. And it's like, I feel this like, but she's so adorable. She'll be like, Archangel Michael, come. Archangel Michael, come. Like she can't get through it. And she just like focuses.
Is he one that smashes through obstacles kinds of things?
Seems so.
Wow. Interesting.
Michael, come.
That's funny. Here's a reading. It's kind of long. Let's see. You're inclined to, you are indeed able to elevate your personal vibration now by focusing within and tuning into the light that's all around you. Allow your awareness to center and allow your energy to ground into the earth. Feel your connection with the light of the earth and all that is. And then there's a prayer from Archangel Michael.
Does this say Archangel Michael, come? Oh.
Yeah, it does. That's the summary down at the end. The Cliff's notes. Crystal to help you raise your vibration, Herkimer Diamond.
Ooh, love me some Hercs. Oh, I'm drooling right now.
Word.
I have a big one somewhere. Oh, so good.
You do? Oh, I'd love to see that. I would love to see your collection of all kinds of stuff. I bet.
I went and mined Herkimer diamonds in Herkimer, New York with my friend Fred and Mike. We went there, camped and everything.
Wow. I didn't know that was a thing to do.
Yeah,
Sweet.
it was a while ago, but we did it. It was awesome. My friend Fred and I, when I lived in the Northeast, we used to go like garnet mining and have a bunch of black tourmaline that we got and apatite.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, that sounds fun.
So amazing. I was like funding my life with the stones I got doing that. I would go to festivals and leave out like big bowls of the rocks and be like, $5-10 donation kind of thing.
Nice.
And
that's bad.
Gas money and got me to the next event or whatever sometimes. So
awesome.
Thank you, Mineral Kingdom.
Right?
Hey, Spooky, do you
go ahead. No, Spooky, go ahead.
Spooky, do you want a card from the Angels or a random deck that I have? I have like 6 decks around I could pick from.
Exactly what I was going to ask. Perfect. We're on point. Keith, yeah, you're I know you're raising your vibration always, so he's down with that one, he says.
Archangel Michael, come.
Hey, Spooky, are you looking for a card from the Angels or a card from a surprise pull from Naviae? Random, whatever feels right. I like it.
I'm gonna go.
Yes.
I'm gonna go.
I mean, I'm happy to do it, but I think something else is calling.
So I keep them all in their original boxes, most of them. And this one, I opened the box and this card just went like that. It fell out.
Oh, I love that. That's the best. Shit does that to me. It flies out of my hand. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's the one.
Oh my God. Look at what it is. Mermaid's Love.
No.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I want to be where the people are.
I just...
What?
I gotta quit being so surprised about all the synchronicity, but it's just, what can you say?
Where I can walk, where I can run, spend all day in the sun.
Are you reading the card meaning?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Look at that. That's a cool piece of art too.
So it's number 24, and it says, love, partnership, support, accord. A loving couple is shown on the card. The woman is a mermaid. Her hair and tail seem to float her through the sky. A man with feathers holds her hand. He grounds and protects her. He is her base. They are from different worlds, water in the sky, but they are complete together, a perfect love union. Their differences make them stronger and balanced. They support each other in their own way, but always from a place of respect and love.
Oh, that's really cool. Fucking Michelle.
It looks like Abe Lincoln.
You say the perfect things, Michelle. That's awesome.
Uncle Abe. So I have a weird synchro with Abraham Lincoln.
Oh yeah? How so?
When I was a little girl, my favorite bedtime story was about Abraham Lincoln, and it was a big, like, historical book about the Civil War.
Oh, interesting.
And that was the story. Do you want Goldilocks and the Three Bears? No, Abraham Lincoln. They're like, really? It's like, yeah. How about no? Every night, Abraham Lincoln. And
did they give you like a penny every time they read it? You know, you could kind of have a little Abe to talk.
I loved him. I loved hearing about him and whatever. I don't know what it was. There was an image of this like little drummer boy that would lead the troop. I would focus on that photo and cry.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I was there. I think I was the flag bearer or the drummer leading people into battle in the Civil War. I swear to God.
Wow. Power.
3-4 years old. I'm like, Abraham Lincoln. They're like, really?
I had a lot of Civil War stuff too when I was a kid. My mom was from the South, and I don't know how much you can believe of genealogy records and stuff, but one of the things said that he was a close family friend.
Wow.
My family has some weird stuff, but it could also be bullshit. Who knows? Anyways, it's Spooky has studied Civil War and Reconstruction at Columbia, so
that'd amazing.
Be interesting to talk to you about that, Spooky.
Yeah. Wow. And I know that Abe was extremely psychic and clairvoyant and witchy.
Ah, that's a side you don't hear about much.
Yeah. That, I mean, according to the references I've seen, that he was extremely gifted, clairvoyantly. Yeah.
There's a Mandela effect about his Gettysburg Address too. Do you remember how that goes?
7 years ago, the country scored.
And then what? 7 years ago. Do you remember?
7 years ago,
or whatever it is. And something about the fathers. Do you remember about that?
What?
I remember it as here. Sean knows.
I don't know what. Sean. Our forefathers came. Something. I don't know.
Father. Yes, that's how I remember it too. Now, in this reality, it's never been forefathers. It's always been our fathers. What? So that's the Mandela effect on that one.
Oh my gosh.
And Keith says the Bardos is based on a book I'm writing that occurs during the Civil War. Back to it.
Whoa. Oh my gosh. So where mermaids meet Abraham Lincoln. This is what our Oracle show has deteriorated into.
For sure, man. He was calling mermaids in his occult practices. Yeah. Spooky has to go back to 1863 to find love, he says.
Oh. Or yeah, I don't know.
You remember a weird movie back in the day? I remember they showed it to us in school called The Incredible Mr. Lippet with Don Knotts. He turned into a fish. Like he fell into the water and turned into a fish.
weird of ringing a bell.
Weird movie. It's half animated, I think.
I don't know. I feel like I kind of know, but I'm not sure. But are you tying that into the mermaid situation?
Yeah, just turning into a fish, like imagining joining the mermaids, diving in and becoming one.
Boy, sun just went in Pisces. The new moon's gonna be in Pisces in the actual sky. It's me. We're gonna be flopping around. It's been raining here nonstop. We're all gonna turn into mermaids, I think.
Damn. Hey, speaking of that, I haven't seen Meredith here today. Be cool if she tunes in. Did you see my show with her the other day or last week?
No.
That was a lot of fun. We had a great conversation. She had
check it out.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that. What you're saying now. She's into astrology and it's weird energy then that's happening.
Say that again.
It's weird energy that's happening. Said it again. Hey, Meredith is here. What? Here she is. Look at that. What's up, Meredith?
Yay! I have to look at on your Yogi Chander channel.
And did you say you published our podcast where I was a guest on your show?
Oh yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
I published yours like a week or two ago, and then I had another recording, and I just published a new one last night.
Yep, Run with Raven was last night, and I was the one prior to that. Just prior to that.
Yeah.
There hasn't been one in between, right?
Season 2, episode 3 with Yogi Chander, and season 2, episode 4 with Raven Terrapin. Oh, you didn't even listen to it yet, Yogi? Woo! It's a good one. You're gonna like it.
I can't. Yeah, I'll just. I enjoy our conversation. I felt really good about that one. I'm not going to be self-conscious at all.
Yeah, it's on Spotify. It's the only place that the A Wandering Witch podcast is available now because I'm using clips of music, so only Spotify runs.
I was going to ask you about that. I get it. Okay.
Yeah, some folks were looking for it like on Apple and Google Podcasts and other places, but it's A Wandering Witch podcast is only on Spotify now.
It's a licensing thing with the music, huh?
Yeah, exactly. But I know Spotify isn't everyone's first choice, but it's what I got right now. Sorry. But,
Coolio. So go check out Wandering Witch podcast for also Yogi Chander if you want to hear that. We had such a fun conversation, except it ended too early.
I know. I feel like we just kind of like surfed along so many topics and could really go deep into some meat of others. It's basically the confluence of magic and martial arts.
Yes.
It was a fun chat.
Yep, and we touched on so many different tangents and things that we can go into another time, like always.
Yeah, and I see Keats is saying that. Yeah, because we did ours. Keats was episode 2 of season 2. Got the deuces going on, Keats, and he was looking to see how maybe he could like publish our podcast that we did somewhere else other than Spotify also. But yeah,
I'm sandwiched right between Keats and a Raven. I mean, that's a couple of trickster energies right there. That's great. Perfect. Perfect place for me to be.
I know. I'm going to be going on. I have Derek Hunter on deck.
Nice.
I know. I'm like.
Love my talk with him. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Derek, and I'm going to be going on Son of a Witch podcast, and I think he's going to be a guest. So I need to have some female energy coming in because it's like a little bit of a sausage party going on. I'm wondering which podcast right now. Not intentional, but I mean, you know what? I started out the season with Nish, and
I was going to say that.
She's a whole lot of woman, so
I know she drew all the men right to you.
Yeah, but also she's
brought all the boys to the yard.
she's anchoring enough feminine for a few seasons, I think. So
yeah, for sure. I meant that in the most respectful way, of course. I'm just kidding around. But it was fun to be on your show. So anybody out there with some feminine energy, go be it there. It's fun.
Yeah,
talk to you.
We're having fun.
I need to have some more guests too of all kinds. I'm remiss in doing my scheduling, so I don't have anything specific coming up, but it will be soon.
Yeah. Hey, before we wrap up, I want to give a shout out to look how old this is. I've had this since the 90s. I mean, we've talked at length about how I had a 7-year period of wandering nomadically with a backpack, and this was one of the things that was in my backpack all those years. So it's a pre-wander item. I don't have very many material things from before I gave all my stuff away, but this was one of the things that made the cut and traveled with it. So it's really old and I love it. And it's called the Fairies Oracle.
Is that Froud?
Yeah. Brian Froud.
Brian Froud, classic fairy dude.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Text by Jessica Macbeth. He's like the Jim Henson
Dark Crystal guy.
Co-creator of Dark Crystal, exactly.
That came to someone was talking about the Dark Crystal. Maybe it was Meredith or someone was talking about the Dark Crystal recently to me.
Ooh, I have to listen to your show. I'm so sorry I didn't get a chance to listen to you. I was working on the podcast. So yeah, anyone out there want a fairy card pulled for them before we?
Oh, I do.
You want one? Okay.
Yeah, I definitely do. I love that so much. That's so cool that you have it. I want to see it in person.
Yeah.
Spooky says Brian is a friend of my friend's family.
I feel like I would be friends with him. He feels like a good human soul, good fairy soul. Fairy friend. Okay, Yogi, tell me when to stop.
Stop.
The Glaucoma. Oh wow.
Ooh.
I know. It's one of the I'll let you know what his he's in, I think he's in the Challenger Fairies, it's called. Let's see. Fairy Challengers. That's what he's in. I love how he like kind of puts them into different categories. The Glaucoma. Here you go. Illusion, delusion, lust, projection, and clear sight. Have you ever noticed that when we really, really want someone or something, we tend to see it without clarity? The object of our lust looks flawless and glamorous, which should tell us something right away, but usually it doesn't. He says his name is Smooth Harry, but that may be a little illusion of his own. The Glaucoma can change. The Glaucoma doesn't change his shape to tempt us with our own mental confusions and paradoxes. He simply wears a mirror. He simply wears a mirror in which we see our desires temptingly displayed. He doesn't try to fool us. He simply allows us to fool ourselves. Well, he may try just a little. Just to make the test a little more difficult. After all, we can be more proud of passing a difficult test than an easy one, can't we? Smooth Harry also appeals to our vanity, and the more we have of it, the easier his work is. A little flattery, and we'll believe whatever he wants us to swallow, especially since it is what we want to swallow anyway. Of all the fairy challengers, Smooth Harry is the most likely to be sly. He practices a sort of emotional judo, where he lets our own desires lead us into a fall. As we rush headlong toward our vision of perfection, he need only step to one side as we cast ourselves at him, and down we go. Not fun, but maybe, perhaps, we can learn a little something from it.
I love it. Dang, I gotta get my hands on that oracle. That's so cool. I love it. Thank you.
It's still in production. Anyone else want a fairy card?
Keats, or no, was it Keats or Keats did? Yeah.
Okay. Keats, tell me when to stop.
Not seeing it yet. Stop.
Wow, all the fairy challengers today. He got the
Not surprised.
bodacious. He got the bodacious Bodak.
Yeah.
The bodacious Bodak. I think it's I
That's
think
got to be.
so.
It's
That's
got
how
to
I
be.
want to say it. Bodak.
Look at that.
He
That looks
looks like Billy Joel from Green Day.
I was thinking that movie that I haven't seen. It's like Japanese horror movie. I don't remember what it's called, where that chick is climbing up weird, like in the stairs or something. You know?
Oh, I don't know. I don't watch horror.
I don't either, but I just know that The Ring or something. I don't know.
Oh, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. But as a challenger, I didn't mean to make that horrifying. It's just
Yeah. The bodacious Bodak. Meddling, tampering, sabotage. Helpful fixing and order. The Bodak, or old man in Scottish Gaelic, means well.
means
Oh.
well.
It says he likes to fix things. He drops down chimneys at night and tidies up for you. If you don't have a chimney, he'll find another way in. You left a stack of papers on your desk, he'll file them for you, probably in someone else's desk.
I need that dude.
No, you don't want him. You don't want this.
Oh.
This is meddling.
Oh.
He'll file them in someone else's desk, so you
I
can't
just
find
got that.
Yeah.
I think I do have him.
You might have him. No one put away the uneaten roast beef. He'll assume you don't want it and give it to the neighbor's dog. He is not the fairy who ties elf. He is not the fairy that ties elf locks in your hair and makes bits of it stand out in odd directions while you sleep. If I have that. This is a cousin of his, and he has far more work to do. Bodak is a meddler. He will tell you, if you catch him, that he means well. It's just that things never turn out quite as he expects them to. He feels that you should be grateful for his so-called help, even while you clean the metaphorical eggs off of the metaphorical walls. He is amazed when you are not. Although his feelings are easily hurt by your lack of appreciation, he is persistent. He will just redouble his efforts to be helpful. The only way to discourage him is to tidy up your own loose ends and clutter. I'm sure you know people like the Bodak. They'll helpfully answer your phone and take down the wrong message. They'll lose it and give you a garbled verbal version. Worse yet, they give you other people's messages from you that aren't exactly or even nearly what you said. On the rare occasion they do not pass something unaccurately, it is either something you never meant to pass on, or it's specifically to the wrong person. The Bodak also likes to gossip.
I really think that Keats and I got that card mixed, or at least maybe it's just for all of us. I don't know.
It says, it is said that one can keep him away by putting salt on the hearth, but you don't.
Hearth or heart?
Hearth.
Okay.
And it says, but don't you believe it?
Oh.
He is like an ant. The only way to keep him away is to not.
I saw an ant today, just now, or like right before I got on the podcast. I saw an ant. Anyway, go ahead. First one of the season. Kitchen counter. What the fuck? Anyway.
It says, he is like an ant. The only way to keep him away is to not have anything around that might attract him. Tidy up your clutter, physical, mental, and emotional.
That's exactly what I'm doing. But this isn't me. It's not about me. It's about Keats.
It's for Keats.
I don't know what that is. I don't know if I resonate with a lot of things. It's that synchronistic thing, I guess. I don't know what the. Anyway, that's fascinating.
Look at the
wow.
Aren't they cool?
I could just dig on those all afternoon, just checking them out. Wow. Oh, yeah. Wow.
They're just like.
Michelle wants one.
Such good friends.
Okay, would you draw one for Michelle? Do you have time?
This will be the last one, and then I'm gonna go. I have to go into town because it's not raining and the streets aren't flooded. I have to make a town run.
Wow. Go connect with nature.
It's dire. I'm almost out of heavy whipping cream. Oh my gosh.
I feel you. Gotta have that. Do you have like how do you have your cream? Do you have it like, do you whip it or like CO2 it, or do you drink it?
I heat it a little bit and put it in my coffee.
Oh, nice, nice.
Okay, Michelle.
She has this deck, she says.
Oh, I love it. Tell me when to stop.
Sure, there's a delay.
I'm waiting for one.
You, okay, she says me, so stop.
She got Mickle and Muckle.
What is it? Nickel and muckle?
Mickle and Muckle.
Nickel and muckle.
Mickle and Muckle. I don't think it's another challenger. Let's see.
Sounds challenging.
Mickle and Muckle.
Like Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
Everyday blessings. Everyday blessings and mixed.
Oh, is he a red cap?
Blessings. It's like a muted red.
Wow, okay.
It says Mickle and Muckle is a Grig of good family. As you have doubtlessly heard, Grigs are merry. So merry they have become proverbial, for it. They want you to be merry too, with a childlike open heart. Mickle informs us, little things come in good packages. He is a little thing, and therefore is good and well packaged in his skin. This is fairy logic, and I'm not responsible for it.
That's right.
Mickle can be foolish, silly, playful, and absurd. He is fond of goofing off and considers play to be an art form, and himself a fine artist. He understands renewing the spirit and recreating the body and emotions. He knows that all of us have a child within us who needs to play, to be cherished. He also knows that we need to make mistakes so we can learn from them, which is how he got the title of a mixed blessing. When we stop pretending to be adults for a moment, stop trying to live up to some impossible and probably boring standard, we can regain the clear, direct vision of a child. We can, like Mickle, see things as they really are, and we can focus on the present moment, which is our only place of power. Here and now is where we can do things, change things, and enjoy real things instead of mere ideas and dreams. Mickle reminds us that the past is past, gone forever. Man. Gone forever. They just keep saying that.
Gong forever?
The past is gone forever.
Gonga forever.
Wow. I've like lost my place, and that's all I can think. It's gone forever. Man.
Bong forever. Michelle got chills. And she says this guy is pulled on her altar right now.
Oh, weird. Gone forever. The future is just a dream, and now is the only time we have, moment by moment. Mickle is a great adventurer, an explorer of life. He leads us to hidden, surprising, magical places if we let him. Nice. Mickle. He feels like a gnome to me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, that's perfect, she says. That's cool. I love the flavor of those cards just so much. The art and the descriptions and everything. Really cool. That was a treat.
It's one of my favorite and like really truly only Oracle cards I ever really got into.
Interesting. Did you? Yeah. But the medicine cards you did for a moment, right? But not really.
They were a borrowed deck. I've never owned. Whenever I've had mystical experiences with the animal cards, it was someone else's deck, like all different people's decks. But I've never owned them myself. But I love those. Those are another goodie.
The first card that I had pulled for for myself was a blank one.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
The
Yeah.
unknowable.
Yeah.
It's like, thanks, guys.
Rivers says she wishes we could do it all day and night. I feel the same way. It's so fun. Same with Keats. It's always fun. And we didn't even get to, I know we're going to wrap up here in a second. We didn't get to the digital stuff. So we'll have to do that another time. We have so much to do other times.
Yeah.
But,
that would be a fun show to talk about, kind of like maybe invite some folks on, and we can do like more of a panel and talk about like what people's opinions are on digital, you know, cartomancy or whatever versus like, you know, tangible analog stuff.
For sure. I would like that. Yes. And if anybody out there has anything to say, just kind of mull it over and let's definitely talk about that. I'm really curious because, I'm just curious about your experience. I've had some experiences and have my opinions, and I'd like to hear yours.
Well, I mean, just to touch on it right now. I mean, so many folks when they go to do readings with me, they're like, I don't have to be with you. We can do it over the phone or over video. And it really, I mean, it sometimes the transcripts I do for folks that just say, I have this question, this is my birthday, and I know nothing about them. Sometimes those readings are the most powerful. And I don't need you to be in the same room with me. So why would it, by that token, why would you need to have the physical cards or physical I Ching coins, or, you know what I mean? Like, yeah,
you're channeling the energy the same way, right? Or regardless, or something.
I was talking about this on this last podcast episode, because we were talking about, you know, like some of my clients are like, I don't want to be crutching on crystals or, you know, flower essences or whatever. Like,
that's fair.
Isn't the goal of magic to just like be the magic and like violet flame everything? Like, you don't need sage or, you know, tools, right? But as a pagan priestess, like, I really want all those things. I want the crystals. Yes. I want the essential oils. I want the wands and the smudge sticks and the robes. Like, I love all that. And
it's an enhancement or expansion or something.
So I've been like looking at that honestly lately, and I've been posing that to some of the guests. Like, what do you think? Do you need it? Do you want it? Is it, it's you know, and I'm going to say this might not be popular, but back in my 30s, my dirty 30s, there was a lot of people I knew that were polyamorous. And it was this, almost in the pagan community where I was making my orbits, it seemed like the most evolved expression of relationship and love was this polyamorous, like to be undetached, not detached, and have multiple kind of just like love for love's sake and all this other. And I kind of explored that for a little while, and I was like, you know what? I am just like we were talking. I'm all in, and you know, I just want that person. And I felt that it was like, not that I'm not evolved, and not that I'm, you know, jealous and possessive. It's just like, no, I just want to be all in with one person, and scattering it for me feels like it's detracting from the connection. But that was my journey. But I just want to say that sometimes there's that vibe in the polyamorous community that is like, well, we're more evolved because we have this, like, you know, whatever. And sometimes I see that in like a new age community where it's like, well, I just violet flame everything. I don't even need like anything physical. I'm that, like,
we're above all that. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And perhaps it's a similar thing where it's like, I think people are wired poly or wired to want monogamy or somewhere in between, you know? And maybe it's like looking at the new age or the everything is frequency, you don't need physical tools and stuff, is kind of like that. You know, maybe some people are wired to just want frequency, and some people are like, no, I want like friggin' robes and cloaks and, you know, pentagrams and, you know.
Well, that's interesting. I don't know about the wired thing, but I mean, you know, different people have different reasons. Like some people want that stuff because they want they just want to play the part, to role play. Some people want it as an enhancement to their magic, and like I'm sure you and I are on the same page with that. It's like it's an enhancement of the core magic that's already there. And so I think I love it. I love them for those reasons, and not to like, play magic.
Yeah.
But that's okay if you do. I'm just saying that that's not my thing for it. And I think that, like you said, a lot of people, it does get kind of slammed in the community. And I think it's totally valid to have your tools and your cool things.
Yeah. And when I did my season premiere with Nish almost 2 months ago, I guess now, I was kind of going there with her, and she was like, one of the best things about being in this 3D is being able to like adorn yourself and have the,
yes,
she's kind of coming from that same place that I'm coming, is like, I really love I love to feel the energy in the crystals that I've used in ritual 100 times. And
yes,
yeah. So I just wanted to bring awareness around that judgment. And I've been asking myself, openly, honestly, like, where do I really stand? Like, what is this really about? So
that's talk about synchronicity. On my bathroom mirror in dry erase, I've listed a couple kinds of magics that I'm contemplating, and one of them is aesthetic magic. I don't know if it is one, but it's a lot like what we're talking about, and it's like magic based on that sort of energy, and the aesthetics can be really powerful. And it's funny that Michelle uses that word too. Also, paradigm magic is another one that I have written down. I'd love to talk about those things sometime, but aesthetics and what you're saying, it's huge. I'd love to hear more about what you have found in your questions.
Aw.
So, next time, maybe.
We'll have to do this again.
Yeah, we'll have to do that maybe next month.
Yeah. And if anyone has other ideas for the shows and stuff, message us. Go to my Linktree, linktr.ee/A Wandering Witch. You can get in touch with me there, or message Yogi if you have ideas for the show, or want to book something with me, or want to be a guest on the show, or have ideas for the guests. For my podcast, A Wandering Witch, or for Yogi's Who's Zoom and Woo.
For sure. And I have some spinoffs coming too, but definitely looking for Who's Zoom and Woo stuff. For sure.
Yeah. Love to hear from everyone out there. And
it's so good to see everybody out there, Michelle and Meredith, Keats and Spooky Rivers.
Thanks for being in the chat, everybody. We love you. It was so fun. It's starting to rain again here, so I'm like, did I miss my window?
Oh, we gotta let you go. Yeah.
And it's gonna get loud, and you're not gonna be able to hear me. So,
all right. Well, enjoy the rain.
Jungle fever. Okay. Aloha, everybody. See you again. Thanks, Yogi. Thanks for playing.
Always. Cheers. Thanks for being here, everyone. We'll see you soon.